We're just getting warmed up, right?
Yeah. I think we should pack the place for show.
Set now we gotta bring it.
What's that?
I forgot it was the acoustic set, now we gotta bring it.
What's the line? Welcome to our living room.
This was kind of like our first living room. All we had was a couple of stools and some ramen noodles and stuff.
Not my first living room. I had full furniture. Cargo furniture. Toby
got all the furniture from the shop.
I did, yeah. Toby gave me discounts. Stolen furniture. I'm kidding. I shall not steal.
We just want to say thank you for coming on the Jesus Freak Cruise.
Thank you,
We are very grateful that you came to hang out with us, and we're grateful that you stuck around for a little gap in our career. As dcTalk.
A 20-year intermission.
For real, we're grateful, man. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of the heart. For real.
Thank you, Toby.
To me, like people are always like it's like crazy that you guys, you know, broke up after 12 years or whatever. And I usually, my thought that runs through my mind so fast is, no, it's crazy that we stayed together for 12 years. That's just I've always been kind of like a look forward guy. I've always like looked at what's the next thing. Michael told me the other night, I haven't said this in any of the shows, but he said to me, he said, do you remember what you told me when you did your solo record? Because the truth is, when after Supernatural, Michael and Kevin came to me and said, we want to do solo records. And honestly, it was like, dang, it kind of was heartbreaking for me because this, like dcTalk was like, you know, my everything with these guys. And it was a little bit heartbreaking. And I waited a while before I did a solo record, Michael told me this the other night, I didn't even know I said this, but he said to me, I guess I said to you, you said,
once you go.
Yeah, you said, once I go, I'm gonna go. Like, that's so terrible.
And Toby Mac did pretty good.
He did pretty good, Pete. That's not the point. The point is, I've always been very much a look forward guy, and I think Michael and Kevin are too. Most of us are like that. We look at what's ahead. We look at the vision we have. We look at for purpose and where we're going. And man, I've been reading the Old Testament, and I think it has blown my mind the way the Israelites just kept looking back. And the way they taught their children and for generations, God carried in the next generations, is they remembered what God did for them at each turn of their life.
Preach.
I thought I had the scripture, I read it yesterday, and I thought, this is fitting, man.
Amen.
Come on, facial recognition, let's go. I read the scripture yesterday on the boat upstairs. It said, I brought you out of Egypt. I led you to the land that I promised to your fathers. And I said, I'll never break my covenant with you, never. And I thought, man, we need to look back. We need to look back. If you guys have some time on the ship tonight, take a look back. We are all here. God has gotten us to this place. There were times when it was dry, and there were times when He parted Red Seas on our behalf. There are times, and share that with your children, man. Share it with the people that you love. Look back and look at where God has taken you from then into today. And that was a beautiful lesson for me, because I was never like that. I know that for me, some of the things are beautiful, and some of the things were very hard. Some of the things have been very hard, but God uses hard sometimes to shape us and make us His. So I wrote this song, and when I wrote, it's the only song I wrote, you know, in dcTalk by myself. And I wrote it in my basement one day. And I told Kevin after I wrote it, I said, Kevin, I wrote a new song called The Hard Way, and I wrote it for you.